Ladies and gentlemen, I know what I'm going to do today. See, from my childhood, I had a fascination for all these scientists and all these researchers. Like they are doing some sort of research and mixing chemicals. They are making aircrafts. They are making some devices and so and so. Right. So I always wanted like these path-breaking technologies. So I also wanted to do something like that. So today we are going to do just that. We are trying or attempting to solve the 7 million problem. So there are a lot of problems, and what problem exactly we are going to solve? We are going to solve the Yang-Mills and the mass gap problem. See, I'm going to try to explain. So first of all, I went to the website. So for finding these problems, I went to the website. They have like really nice website, and they have organized everything: unsolved problems, solved problems, and so on and so. So I went to, and the most interesting one and the toughest one I was able to find was the Yang-Mills and the mass gap problem. And I downloaded the research paper. There were videos too, so first I went to the research paper, obviously. So what I found there was like there were some lines and lines and lines. So I read the first two lines and I didn't understand anything, so I aborted that. I'm not capable enough to comprehend that research paper. If you do, please tell me what's the summary and all. Right. So after that, I went to the videos. Like there were, first of all, there are videos for explaining and announcing those problems, and then for each problem there's a video explaining the problem. So there was some gauge theory and so and so and so, and I watched the video. Like I watched other videos, 5-6 minutes videos, and what I understood was, the takeaway was, I understood nothing. I'm an idiot. Fine. So after that, I tried asking the most intellectual being in 7 Seas, that is so I asked it to explain it to me like a 5-year-old, and what I did understood was, like, it gave some examples of, so it's related to quantization. Quantization is, for example, everything is in discrete packets. For example, I'll show you an example. This pen, you can't say you half a pen. There's nothing called half a pen. You either have a whole pen or you don't have. It's not like there's half of something. Same thing, for example, there are stairs. Can't say I am half stairs. Either you are the first stair, second stair, third stair, or you are not standing on stairs. There's nothing called 1.5 stairs or 2.5 stairs. It's not like you can stand in middle. That's not possible, at least for us humans. That's quantization. And but the thing is, like, all the electrons, atoms, and all these are quantized. So all of these are in proper discrete packets. Then the second thing is that Yang-Mills theory. Let's come to the Yang-Mills theory. So it's not like it's Yang-Mills, that's not a person. There's some Yang surname and Mills surname. So that's the thing. And these people formulated like I think what I understood, that they have derived an theory and expression for all this, the behaviors, the spins, and something related to this gluons. Like they can predict the behavior of gluons or some particles like that. And the second thing I was able to understand was, like, in real world, whenever you first of all, I'll give you an example. There's a pen, right? How does this pen move? It requires some force before it starts moving. That's inertia in real world. But there's the mass gap. The mass gap says that it needs a certain amount of energy before it starts doing something, it starts showcasing a behavior, right? So you need some sort of energy, and so what I understood is somewhat related or something close to inertia or something. Like you need a certain amount of energy before you start making a thing. So after that, this is the mass gap, because you need this mass gap is the energy gap. So the Yang-Mills theory tells, okay, this happens and this happens and this happens, but it never there's no for example, it's not theorized. In real world, we see that there's a mass gap, there's some sort of energy needed before it starts showing any behavior. But in the Yang-Mills theory, it does not, it's not mandatory to have such sort of mask. Like there's something, some mask gap, but there's not a mandation, like there's something not mandatory, okay, you have to have a mask gap. That's not required here, right? So they need some sort of like explanation for this, or maybe some theory for this, and that's what I understood, right? That's what ChatGPT told me. I don't know if I'm right. So what I understood was that there's so much to learn, and I thought I will grasp at least a few concepts, but this thing is really, really complex. And this, like, I understand these are the millennium problems, these are the toughest problem in mathematics, but I was not able to understand, like, I wasn't able to understand anything, man. So the takeaway is there's always room for knowledge, there's always room for more.